Welcome back everyone, and after a very slow and frustrating morning for us, we finally found a young male leopard, thanks to someone. Unfortunately he is across our boundary, but you can see carrying the meat there. It looks like he's made a very big kill. It almost looks like it could be a kudu. I can't really see. Where'd he go?
To the left.
To the left?
Yeah, there you go.
He's gone behind a bush for me. He might take some of that meat up a tree, I'm hoping. We're not sure which leopard this is yet. Here he comes. It's a very big carcass on the ground. I mean, it almost, to me, looks like a buffalo carcass, which is quite unusual. I'm not quite sure what's going on here. We'll have a look at the main piece of the carcass shortly. We're going to stick with him. As I said, unfortunately, he's just across our boundary, but we will stay with him. He might take some of that meat, if it is an abandoned lion kill or something like that, and try store it in a tree. But we'll go back to try to figure out what the carcass is shortly. So guys, see if you can try to figure out which leopard this is. It's definitely a young male, but who exactly, I'm not sure. Looks like he's fortunately bringing that meat closer and closer to us on the boundary. He is walking slightly towards us, but also parallel to the boundary road. And I think he's quite worried that hyenas might get into this situation. It is a very big piece of meat. Try to see what piece of meat it is now. Still trying to figure out who it might be. I have my suspicions. Morning, morning, morning. Morning, morning. I'm trying, it actually looks like it might be a piece of the lungs he's carrying at the moment. Unfortunately, there's a bit of a traffic jam on the road ahead of us. There we go, up the tree. So I said he might be taking pieces of that meat to store. And very fortunately for us, it's right on our boundary. Whoops, nearly dropped that. Maybe we can figure out who it is now that he's not moving as much. Good, good. Thanks, Tex. Ish. It's been quiet today. That other one is deep in that, where that drainage line goes into lots of different places. So guys, obviously we were quite excited about finding this leopard, but just to give you an update, other leopard tracks we were tracking earlier that went into that drainage line, those leopard tracks, I managed to find that leopard on foot, and unfortunately it was in an area where we couldn't get the vehicle, and then we just heard over the radio about this guy on the boundary, so we decided to take a chance and come see who it is. So a few people seem to think this is the quarantine young male, one of Karula's last litter. I'm not 100% sure yet, but Anna Marie and Siberia seem to think it's quarantine.
I think it's quarantine. That spot in his eye.
VM thinks it's quarantine as well. I'm going to keep looking a little bit closer before I throw my hat in with everyone. Yeah, he's going to come down. He might go try fetch another piece of meat. And I just heard of on that carcass on the ground, so he might be going to try chase the vulture off. So obviously that carcass on the ground is very vulnerable. The fact that it is a big carcass, I'm not sure what it is yet. It looked very big. Kudu, there we go. So it was a big kudu, that's why he's unable to hoist the whole carcass. And the vultures have spotted it, and they are dropping down onto the carcass, which could cause him to actually move a bit faster back to the carcass to chase them off. There we go. So we're gonna get ahead. We're gonna go a bit faster to try and get to the carcass before he does. So hold on. See it yet, Tim? There we go. The vulture's on the ground there. He's running at full speed now. Sorry guys, I'm just gonna try and get there. He might surprise a vulture on the ground. Right, they've seen him coming. You can see the vultures all disappearing, and he's charged in to chase the vultures off the carcass, and he's now slowed down to a walk again now that the vultures all disappeared. There he comes. We're about to see the rib cage of the carcass shortly, and there's I think he's going to have a constant battle today trying to keep the vultures off the carcass. Is he lying down?
Behind that bush.
Behind the bush. So he's just stopped behind that thicket, so we can't see him at all at the moment. Just waiting for him to either come back to the carcass, and you can see that red. There we go. Vem's going to zoom in a little bit for you there. Unfortunately, it is quite far in the other side, and he might lie down near the carcass to defend it from vultures. Obviously, the biggest threat is if hyenas had to come now, and they would definitely steal that from him. You can see the vultures have spotted each other, and they are now dropping down at a rate of knots. So I can see there's 3 there, 4, 5 and other trees, and I can still see a few more coming in. I think he's lying down behind that bush to stay close to the carcass, to defend it from the vultures. And as I said, unfortunately, other things like lions and hyenas might see those vultures dropping and come investigate as well. So we can see that thicket almost directly. There we go. Well, it's probably behind there. You can see the vultures. We see the little red of the rib cage to the right, and then he's lying down in the thicket just to the left. But what a fantastic little cameo sighting we did have of this young male. So it doesn't look like he's going to pop out just yet, but what a fantastic way to end this sunrise safari with a male leopard. And it's been a really frustrating day for VM and myself when we tracked the female leopard and she left. We actually found lion tracks right at the gate and they left. Then we actually found a leopard on foot, but we couldn't get a car there. So really nice after quite a frustrating morning to be able to end off with such a fantastic sighting. Lovely having him climb up the tree next to us. I'm still not 100% sure which leopard this is, but I think you guys are right. It probably is quarantine, and which makes me think the other young male leopard we found on foot could be Kunuma, very close to the Gowrie Dam. So hopefully he'll decide to pop out from that myriad of little drainage lines into the open. So keep an eye on the Djuma Dam cam during the day. There's a good chance he might pop down there for a drink. I'm going to try and move a little bit to see if we can maybe catch a rosette or two through the trees. Can you spot anything there, Vim? I think he's got a nice shady spot under that bush. It is thick and it is quite far for us.
Get a nice shot on the rib cage.
If we go forward a bit or back? Say when? A bit more? If we go a little bit forward, I've got a window through here. There? There we go. I think that's unfortunately the best we're going to get of the carcass. We might try a little bit further forward again. The link is either wildearth.tv or wildsafariLive.com, and twice 3-hour game drives a day from, well, about to be changing time shortly, so it'll be from 6 in the morning till 9, and then again from 3:30 to 6:30.
Streaming this actually?
Streaming live, yeah. So we're actually live right now, and that little beam up there is sending it to another thing that sends it to another thing. My job's to find animals. I don't know the technicals.
That's why you're here. Right?
Exactly. Cheers, guys. Enjoy. So, guys, thanks very much for joining us. Unfortunately, there's a bit of traffic that's coming along here. It's been wonderful having you on safari with us, and we really do appreciate all your questions, and our regular viewers, any new viewers, welcome. So hopefully, I'm sure either Scott or James will definitely come follow up on this leopard on the Sunset Safari. I'll be out tracking. So have a wonderful day or evening wherever you might be in the world, and we will see you soon. Cheers.
Sorry, can you give us the URL again?